Hi, my name is Raquel Silva, and I'm going to speak to you about the hallucinogen LSD and the effects it has in our bodies. Before mentioning all the effects of LSD on the brain and how it changes our behavior, I want to explain briefly the process of neurotransmission. It all starts off with the dendrites of the presynaptic neuron, which bring information into the cell body. I found that on faculty.washington.edu. And then the axons do the opposite. They take information away from the cell body. Then information from one neuron goes to another neuron across a synapse, which is a junction between two cells. It contains a small gap separating the neurons. At the synapse, one neuron sends a message to the target neuron, which is just another cell. Most synapses are chemical ones, which means they communicate using chemical messengers. Others can be electrical. In these electrical synapses, ions flow directly between cells. Neurons communicate with one another through these so-called junctions. It consists of the presynaptic ending that has neurotransmitters, the mitochondria, and other organelles, plus a postsynaptic ending that contains receptor sites for neurotransmitters and a synaptic cleft, a space between the presynaptic and postsynaptic endings, found on khanacademy.org. Now, onto the psychedelic drug. LSD, before I begin to talk about the effects and all the issues this drug comes with, let me give a brief description first. LSD is a chemical that alters a user's mood, thoughts, or perception of things, known as a hallucinogen. It can cause auditory and visual hallucinations, paranoia, or dreamlike states. This drug is considered one of the most powerful mood-changing chemicals. The neurotransmitter being affected by the drug LSD is serotonin, which is also known as the happy chemical in our bodies. The function of this neurotransmitter is that it's a hormone that stabilizes your mood, feelings of well-being, and your happiness. Hence the name, the happy chemical. It also helps with sleeping, eating, and digestion. Serotonin is made by the body's nerve cells, formed during a chemical reaction that involves the protein called tryptophan. Serotonin is made by the body's nerve cells, formed during a chemical reaction that involves the protein called tryptophan. It is found throughout the body in the intestines, brain, and blood. Helps the body to work as it should by sending messages between the nerve cells. It also helps to regulate sleep and wake, helps the process to think and maintains your mood. If there isn't enough of this neurotransmitter, then you are most likely to develop depression and anxiety. The right amount is needed to feel happy and calm and emotionally stable. Symptoms that can occur if the levels of serotonin are low are these: memory problems, feeling low, craving sweet foods, problems sleeping, feeling bad about yourself, and increased sexual desire. I found this on healthdirect.gov. The parts of the brain that are being most affected by LSD are the parts that produce our thoughts, perception, and feelings. LSD is altering the capacity of the thalamus. In small words, the thalamus relays motor and sensory signals to the cerebral cortex to control the flow of our sensory information to other areas of the brain. Found on nih.gov/news events and scipost.org. One of the research studies I reviewed from news.yale.edu states that the drug triggers a reduction of connections between parts of the brain that are taking over the cognitive processes and an increase in connectivity in brain networks that are associated with sensory functions. The overall result of behavior based on these parts that I just stated is that it causes the senses of space, distance, and time to become altered. People have mentioned that they hear colors or see sounds, and that already sounds strange enough. But they also state that they have strange feelings and very strong emotions. All these feelings add up to be so-called acid trips. They can also be called a bad trip, which is when users experience panic, confusion, scary images, and sadness. Many sites state that this drug gives a euphoric experience, which is the experience of pleasure or excitement caused by drugs. They also get an intense feeling of well-being and happiness. This drug also affects your judgment and behavior. All of these facts bring users to a very dangerous situation. Found on killthealth.org. Our brains are a complex organ that can only take in so much damage to it. The hallucinogen LSD puts the brain in one of the lowest points, altering many parts in a person's brain, starting from affecting the process of the neurotransmission, which I explained at the beginning, and then the perception of things is altered, and the neurotransmitter serotonin is also altered. In conclusion, LSD comes with endless information that I could go on and on about, but that is what I have for you today.